Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for week 21, day 4. It is May 25th, 2017. Hey, Jedi traders, as always, let's get that open there for you. Please seek financial advisor when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purpose only. Support your knowledge of the market. See what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, Jedi traders, good to see you. It was Super Trend Thursday living up to its name in the market. Let's jump right into the stats here as indices, all three gapping up on last night's price action. Let's go ahead and pull up a chart there. There it was on the Asian session. Globex towards the end of the move. Nice price action. Again, tick irrelevant in the nighttime session, but all nice trending chart with HA bars, those Heiken Ashi bars. That's right. I'm talking about the HA bars versus the regular candles. As you can see here on the chart, don't have to define which direction you're going. All you need to do is either it's up, down, or indecision. 3 directions. That's it. Don't need to determine a lot there. And so price action lifting on, once again, Federal Reserve words out of overseas. And there it was. Nice move. Well, was it the London session that was going to carry through? No, not so much. But pre-market got a nice move. And so gapping up, NQ, EM, YS, YM and ES all gapping up with NQ and ES making those all-time highs. So therefore, we give it the tag. Record highs again. NQ with 3 this week, actually. So that was our AM session. PM session, no major pullbacks. A little bit, but NQ holds to the upside. ES and YM not as strong. Big move on the crude to the downside today, with the VIX closing out underneath the 10. As a little bit of economic numbers coming out, nothing too shocking other than Bitcoin rallying up and falling hard downside, and news out of OPEC. So there's our Globex net long holding to the upside and sustaining while the YM closes out near its open, and NQ holding to the upside as Amazon and Google run towards its target at 1,000. All right, so let's jump right into NQ as the full session. Price action, market open. Tempted to get a move down there and didn't get much off there. And finally, market action pulled back upside here above the T34. Market open above the 5144 cloud. Again, when we're looking at the highest probability setup, whether you're going for the long or the short, we're looking for price action underneath the cloud in sync with the 534 and the 5144. All right, so we got to move to the upside again. A little bit in caution here again with the 534, but I'm going to show you a chart here which put this all in perspective as the higher trend has been upside for the most part for the week, and as of last week as we regain our traction back upside after the movement to the downside last week, and it's been up ever since, breaking new all-time highs. All right, so there you go. There's your move to the upside. NQ, second surge on the pullback, third surge PM session. By this point, look at that AM session move versus the PM session. There's a good reason to stay out of that PM session setups. But PM session did give you an up move, another up move, and that was it. Counter moves, again, an opportunity. There are opportunities. I'll show you what those look like. But when everything's in trend, everything looks great. So how did we do on the ES? Nice move on the ES here. A little bit cleaner from the get-go. Almost all charts in sync. Breakout above. It was about 18 minutes post market action. Open here on the U.S. regular trading hours. Pullback, deep pullback on the ES, only to give us traction back upside. But as you can see, here's our open, here's our close. Not much of a difference on the ES, and YM very quietly leaving out for the day. All right, how we do on market internals. Taking a look at the charts. Volume profile, again, price action here. You can see very weak tops here. A little bit better profile here on the ES. A little bit longer tail than preferred, 70% of today's price action. There's our gap up. So at some point, expect the repair upside here in the NQ, meaning eventually price will move higher. Daily gaps, again, appreciate the new all-time high in the NQ and ES, pushing above that 2400, but as posted today, and should always be kept in mind. Where's that chart? That's right, that open gap. Let's expand that ES. Keep that in mind that markets will eventually, and with 100%, close out former gaps. And there it is, ES closing out the gap downside. Is it filled? With gaps still to the downside, all the way down 79.75, plus some even lower, 279.75. But for now, market action still sustaining that uptrend since November. Expect at some point market will react and pull back down. So keep those in mind where they are. So there we are, new open gap to the downside. Open up on today's session 0450, 996, and the NQ open gap here at 3450, the most recent high. AD lines across the board. Interesting enough, take it out. Look at price action lifts. That's right, almost to post, not even, oh yeah, about 1 hour. And what did the AD line? Didn't go anywhere for the remainder of the session. So on volume alone, which wasn't at the highs, but at least coming up to at least volume of several sessions ago. Let's go ahead and actually pull up the volume on the charts and see how we did here. ES again, like I said, coming up to several sessions ago. So at least not more declining price movement upside and decreasing volume. So AD lines, though, surprisingly enough, straight across the board. Market internal to gauge, are we going higher? But the fact that we held to 70.75 and didn't push up to 90 or even higher showed the price action by some point was just going to remain pretty steady. But somehow market internals today didn't exactly match up as the NYSE started coming down, which did represent our ES and YM move a little bit more. So market internals a little sketchy there on the NQ today. All right, let's take a shot and pick at some of the charts here today. Again, NQ was the story here today as we saw market action this morning on the pre-Euro close. Again, first opportunity downside, gets a lift here and denied at the MML high here. Looking at 57.81 off the 57.42 on a 1-minute chart. Actually, 5 and a 10-minute chart was only at the major support resistance, 57.42, and eventually the goal upside here, 81.25, which we know reset itself and it actually pushed higher until eventually, there it is, ding the bell, and NQ able to fulfill its move up to the MML high. All right, so NQ mid-session close. Again, we saw that second move opportunity to the upside. Really what we're looking at a big range as we've been talking about. The setup, go back in time before May 19th. It was actually at the end of last week after a huge downtrend. But the setup here, HA bars, giving you one opportunity after another, whether in the Globex or the US session, to get in this long trend to the upside. And so you got to ask yourself, where is your opportunity? What does it mean to splice into the bigger run? Go ahead and look at a chart here in a little bit too. So there it is, AM session. And PM session, you saw it fall out the way it did, not much price action. So again, I can't help but reiterate as we enter in summertime hours here soon, enough in the next couple weeks is get those setups in the AM session and you'll be much happier than giving those profits back perhaps in the PM session. One last chart here pointing out how price action again here on the NQ, all about the NQ here today. On a 5-minute chart, we saw that MML, but nice pullback, and then off the 1-minute, nice resurgence here. Again, PM session, if you're going to trade it, at least throw in an MML from the low to the high, and we could see price action hitting that upper levels, 57.91, which ended up a high here at 57.95. All right, let me go ahead and point out, as many of you sometimes say, well, go ahead and show me where the setups were. Well, sure enough, there was the daily trend. I want to put this picture together as we tend to look at the charts from the 4-hour perspective, which we'll see, look here in a moment on the MMLs. But when we combine just the HA bars, all right, so here's our me get my chart here. Here we go. All right, so if we take the NQ being the best trending chart today, besides the crude, which, by the way, I did not get a shot midday here. That was the crude at the end. There you go. Look at that nice move on the crude to the downside underneath the 51.44. Again, first initial move might have been sketchy. But there you go. Solid Heikin Ashi bars downside. You got a T35. That's the Tim Tilson moving average. Price action to downside opportunity to move the stop up, move the stop up, move the stop up. Now, depending on where you had your stop here, you might have been stopped out on price action pulling back. Another opportunity on the crude to the downside. Perhaps once you got all three charts in sync, that's all you need on the commodities that don't use the market internal, such as the AD lines and the tick count. But everything underneath the 51.44 and the VWAP. So great move. Now, let's go back a little bit. Let's regress for a moment to the NQ on the days when we use T35 and T310. Again, it can be the crossing of any moving average, but I want everybody to appreciate the big picture here as we post here in the morning session, as we have all week, is price action holding up above. We've been climbing above 57.81. If actually we go back here for a moment on the NQ big pick from yesterday's close, we see 57.81.25. That's why I posted there in the evenings. And then through the night on the move, NQ Globex update, all of a sudden we had a little bit of a reset of our 60-minute chart, so that gives us some levels in between. And then NQ pre-market gives us the move up high here, 57.81.25, and then eventually we get the charts with the upper numbers here, right here, 57.81.25 and the 5800 right here. But again, let's go back here for a moment. Pre-market, there it is, 57.81.25 would be the top target that we'd be looking for intraday session. Well, what is convincing that we're going to move up there? Well, take a look at the chart on the right, is the fact that we've been holding in an uptrend all along. 50 above 144, 534 in sync, and price action holding above the T34 moving average. All right, so there it is on the big picture. Now you come into the intraday setup and you look to your lower time frame, you say, where is the opportune setup? And right here, knowing that price action, I'm going to go ahead and point it out right there, solid Heikin Ashi bar tails up above the cloud, and what are we looking for? Now, nothing to say you can't get a scalp entry, nothing that says you can't take the entry to the downside over here, being that that's a high probability setup. Who's to know that we might not get a pullback today, but the higher probability sat with all day to the upside, and that's why this move and this move and this move and this move were the ones to focus on. Now, I'm not saying once you were out of trade you couldn't focus on a counter trend. All you had to simply do was, that's right, just focus on where the two moving averages crossed one another, and you got yourself a trending bar. Right? If you're already out of these moves, take the counter trend, get yourself back in the uptrend, being the T35 crossed right back over upside. That's right. So all of these can be great opportunities, especially in a trending market, for not only the counter trade. If you're going to sit in a counter trade, that's what you would be wanting to look for. I'm not talking about picking the tops. I'm talking about looking for a crossover and the HA bars and trend. The optimal on these kind of setups, get in over here, be able to ride it up, move your stop up to the swing size low, continue the move up, and each time market moves up, continue to move your stop to swing size. Once you're over here, it's end of day session, 15 minutes prior, price action crosses over, or what did we say? That's right, take a look at the MML, and that's exactly where we reached to. We reached up to 57.81.25, and that was towards the end of the session. Go ahead and bail on the setup. All right, so as we roll into tomorrow, we're sitting in the zone high. Again, we're rolling into a Memorial Day holiday weekend here. So any pullback in this market, we'll obviously watch the 57.42. Anything deeper, we'll be watching the 10-period moving average on the NQ. Again, keep in mind that we are in a relentless uptrend here as the NQ makes all new all-time highs. So any move upside will look to the smaller time frame like we just did on the 10-7 Flex Renko. And keeping in mind where the bigger time frame chart is here. 25.17 is the setting. right, take a look at the ES zone high up here, sitting up here. We have up to 24.22 on the ES. Anything downside, watch for the 10 EMA and halfway back 23.90. That would be a 50% pullback from this big move. Taking a look at the YM price action again. Still a little bit move. We did touch the 21.094, which was the zone high. Again, you want to see these charts posted the night before. Keep those in mind, as well as 15 minutes or 30 minutes prior to the open. Price action, any pullback, we'll be looking at this zone 977 down to the 10 EMA. Anything downside, anything deeper, market wants to rip, it's going to be all the way downside. Let's just pull up the CL because that was the move of the day there on the other charts that we watched. Price action breaks. Lost support at the 200, the 10, and the 50. So clear indicator that market action. And buy a tick down to 48.44. What a move from MML high to MML low, from zone high to zone low today on the crude. All right, looking ahead for tomorrow. Economic GDP is up. Red Star event, durable good orders, and rolling out the week. And that's it. Rig count in the afternoon should move markets. And if there's any volume to be seen tomorrow, being that we have a holiday weekend, is yet to be seen until the market opens tomorrow. So that is an insight into the daily trend and technical momentum of the indices and key futures markets. Feel free to stop by here at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. Hey guys, make sure you check out my pre-market trend. Also tomorrow I'll post my weekend recap of all the days. Just a quick link to each of the trading session recaps. And you want to check out my technical momentum outlook for the week posted over the weekend. Hey guys, my trading mantra, one simple strategy, any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. Feel free to follow me at tradingfibs.com on Twitter. As always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I'm only watching what's in front of me and on my charts. And as always, I leave my buys at the door when trading. Hey, if you guys are interested in joining us in our community of like-minded traders, feel free to email me, David at TradingFibs. You can join me on any Wednesday or Thursday to view the live chart setups as they happen in the trading day and to watch moves like we saw today on the NQ. That's right, on the NQ, moving up. Stay on it, stay on it, stay on it. If you're on it, if you're not on it, where do you get back in and where's the highest probability set up? That's what it takes. I know there are a lot of great trading strategies out there. It's not the only one. You got to pick one that works for you. If you take a loss, you got to find the opportunity to get back in if you can. Otherwise, wait for another day, wait for another setup, and there will definitely be one. Hey guys, coming up, I want to give a shout out to the Infinity Futures gang over there in Chicago having a simulation challenge June 14th through June 20th. You can attend one of two webinars here, the Live Trading Challenge Intensive Camp with Jim Cagnina, or that's right, myself. You feel free to scroll all the way down. I'll be hosting next week, May 30th through June 1st, after the market has closed a little bit, and 3 days, session 1, 2, and 3 on setting up a trading plan for yourself. Go ahead and register at the bottom. All right, guys, as we roll into tomorrow, that's it. It's a holiday weekend here, so be alive that volume might be down, so don't get caught in anything, especially in the PM session. Hey, guys, have yourselves a Blue Zone day wherever you may be, and have a good day, a good night, and good trading to you. David from TradingFibs.com.